And we are going live, and we are live, and I am gonna wait for everybody to come on in because it is a new moon, and I'm not gonna be here long, right? Because I want to enjoy this wonderful new moon energy myself too, right? So we're going to tap into the new moon energy in Sagittarius, and we're going to take a look and see the messages that was coming through. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get in before I begin. Hopefully, this energy is not making you too anxious, okay? Hey, Apple. Hey, Galaxy Goddess. How are you doing, my love? How is this wonderful new moon energy treating you guys? Hey, Jay Simone, how are you, beautiful? How is everybody doing? I am sorry about Friday, y'all, and Thursday. Thursday, we were supposed to go live on Instagram with Kelly Kells, and something popped up for her. And then Friday, all of this energy that I will be talking about tonight actually started stirring up. Okay, so I'm going to try to pronounce your name very well and welcome you to the community. However, if last name Benson, if I mess up your first name, please know that that just means that you were part of the community. Okay. Shanavia, did I get that right? Shanavia. I hope I got that right. If I did not get that correctly, welcome to the community. That means that you are officially part of the community. Hey, Ryan, how are you doing, my love? Hey, Lori, how are you doing? All right. How is everybody feeling? How is the energy treating you? We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the energy. And as we are wrapping up the balance of 2020, maybe some of the things that I almost got it right. Okay. Got it. Well, that means that you're officially welcome to the community. That's what that means. Okay. All right. So welcome. All right. New moon in Sagittarius. First of all, let's just talk about the representation of the moon and what it represents to you as an individual, and how, hey, light within darkness, and how it plays a part as to how you are to, I want to say, man your wheel. Okay. Remember, we talk about on this channel that you are not just responsible for mastering your sun sign, aka the month that you were born. You are also responsible for mastering all aspect of the zodiac wheel, because all 12 signs or your 12 disciplines, okay, or 12 aspects of your psyche can tap you into 12 levels of self. Okay. So just know that you are responsible for mastering all 12 aspects of yourself. Okay. Now, with that being said, we got the sun in Sagittarius. We got a new moon happening in Sagittarius. Okay. Let's talk first of all about the energetic pattern of what the moon does. All right. Whether you think the moon is a satellite, whether you think it's a hollow planet, it don't really matter. What we do know is that the moon governs the electrical magnetic pull on this plane, which also you can say governs your feelings, right? Because everything on this plane and how we correspond is really all about energy, right? So the moon governs waters, and you know, water is a representation of your emotions. Okay. With that being said, all right, today is Monday. Monday is ruled by the moon, which means that even today, the energy that's coming in, right, is even more powerful because of the placement in the heavens. Okay. You know, you wrestle not with flesh and blood, but you wrestle with principalities and powers in higher places that you know not of. They're talking about the heavens and the planets and shit. This is really parts of yourself, parts of you. Okay. With that being said, unfolding in Sagittarius, the energetic pattern within Sagittarius is all about perception. Now, let's get into this, right? If you look back to what has been unfolding pretty much maybe to the beginning of the summer, look back towards June when we started the eclipse season, you can see that there's some things that may have began towards the beginning of the summer that's really coming to a close. Okay. We talked about 2020 being a year of mastery for some of you because you were supposed to be manning your square. 2020 vibrated on the number 4. So you were supposed to be gaining a lot of clarity this year, as well as solidifying your new timeline. So we talked about that. Okay. And if you want to know more about the timelines, you can go back to the videos at the beginning of the year or at the end of last year when we were talking a lot about the timelines and people being able to solidify their timelines. Okay. Now, This new moon in Sagittarius is bringing in a new perspective. Okay, let me just tell you, I don't know how many people have been experienced the heavy eclipse energy, the heavy explosive eclipse energy. Okay, um, um, on Friday, one of the reasons why I didn't come on is because I got caught up in that energy. Let me just say the universe, my guides, and everybody showed up, but I needed to tap out because I was feeling anxious energy on Friday that I needed to find my center and come back to a place of wholeness, right? There was just a lot of anxious energy that I had to deal with. I had to get things done, and I had to nip some things in the bud, right? So then I needed to shut it down and just take care of me, right? So you want to be mindful as we're moving throughout this eclipse energy to pay attention to the anxiety in the atmosphere, okay? There's a lot of anxious energy out there right now, so you want to be mindful that people are going to be self-projecting, and you want to be mindful that you can find people I want to say trying to cast their fears or their burdens on you as we're shifting through this energy. So pay attention to how much energy you give to any particular thing, especially because this energy within this new moon is asking you to end something that is really time for you to end so you can begin anew. Or you can find that this eclipse energy is bringing in an end or a change to something that you may know needed to be changed, but you really didn't have the strength or the power within your own to change it. So the universe just kind of came in with this eclipse energy and just shut things down for you. You can find things like that happening also. Pay attention to the energy as we're moving throughout the week, okay? Now, the energy as we're moving throughout the week, you want to definitely make sure that you have your eyes wide open. You want to be mindful, not just as how you feel, but you want to pay attention to other people's motives. Remember, this energy within this new moon and the eclipse energy is bringing endings, and it's also bringing you beginnings right away. But if you're too caught up in your feelings, you're not going to see the transition from the end to the beginning. All right. I don't know if I'm making sense. All right. So one thing is going to end, but you're going to see the door is opening quickly. Okay, now we are going to be transiting into Capricorn's energy. I think around the 21st or the 22nd, right? So just be mindful, right? Because we're coming up to that energy next week, right? When is the 20? Yeah. We'll be there. We'll be there on Monday, like literally next Monday. All right. So watch that transition. Leaving between Monday, Tuesday of next week, leaving Sagittarius going into Capricorn. Okay. You want to be mindful of that as we're making that transit, right? Because you got the ends, but you got new beginnings, and that Capricorn energy can support a lot of this new beginnings coming in because that's the foundation. But Capricorn energy, now be mindful because we're also in an eclipse energy within Sagittarius. Remember, Sagittarius is bringing in that energy of a new perception, right? It rules perception, being able to perceive, maybe having a different point of view, a different perception on how to solve a thing, how to accomplish a thing, how to do a thing. But in order for you to have that new perception, you're going to have to die to an old one, right? You can't bring that old one with you where you're going, okay? Now, because we've been in a year of mastery and self-alchemy, right? You should have had enough time to try some things throughout the year because we're coming to an end of a calendar year, right? But really, when you hit Pisces season is really when we're going to get a better understanding of everything that you have to go. Anyway, but keep in mind, however, right, as we're coming to the end of the calendar year, you want to be mindful that you were supposed to be learning, experiencing. You were supposed to be, we talked about that shifting. Remember, in a few live, the ancestors was coming in with the shifting. There were things being shifted out. Now that the shift is done, I don't see them shifting anymore, right? The shift is done. There is a shift. The end is here, right? You would have been able to gain some clarity either from some type of conversation, either by some type of interaction, either by some type of notification, or either by someone just being truly who they are and you waking up and finally getting it, okay? You are not to waste your energy within this eclipse energy. Okay, you're not to waste your energy. Find a new perception. If you've been doing something one way for the past 10 years or 10 months and it has not been working for you, this is a time for you to try to do something or do it differently. Okay, close that chapter and maybe try something else. Remember, I don't know which one of these scientists said it. It could have been Einstein, it could have been Edison. I'm not sure which one, right? But it wasn't the thousandth time they tried and succeeded. It was the 1,001 time that they tried and succeeded. So it's not about the mistakes. It's not about the things that you may not have done the last time, right? What are you doing now this time? What are you taking into this energy with you that no longer works, right? That's what you got to release and try something new, okay? Be mindful of that, right? Responsibility and accountability is also going to be important as we're moving throughout this new moon and this eclipse energy, right? Because if you've had enough opportunity from the beginning of the eclipse season back in June, right? This was always about you had an opportunity to gain a perspective now, right? So if you've had an opportunity to gain a perspective, but you're still seeing things with the same lens, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see a repeat of the same things, but it's going to be definitely with a more intense energy because we're going into Capricorn season. Capricorn season is the timekeeper, and Capricorn is saying, okay, all right, now I gave your ass some time, but you still on the same bullshit. You still ain't learned yet. Oh, we're going to have to do this again. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So let's do this again. And now that we got to do this again, I'm going to add 10 more pounds to what you got to do, what you got to deal with. Oh, okay. Now you're going to have to make 10 extra phone calls. Guess what? Now you're going to have to wait 10 extra weeks. Okay. So please understand, right? Be mindful if there's something that you can do, right? Or something that you should do and get it done. You want to be mindful to move in a timely manner, right? This is really not the time to procrastinate and things. Trust. Okay. Now, so release. I want you to listen to the 3 R's that was coming through as I was meditating on this energy, right? Release, revise, and renew is going to be key, right? Releasing, revising, and renewing is going to be key as you're moving throughout this energy. Okay. So meaning if it don't work, it ain't been working, you need to release it. Okay. Yeah, you may have to revise some shit because some shit that you was trying to do a year ago may not have been working, but it may be working now as you're going through the new energy. Some shit that you may have been doing 6 months ago, honey, yeah, it ain't working now, so you're gonna have to release it, right? Or revise the way that you were doing it. Okay, maybe not give so much energy or so much time. If you were communicating about this too much, maybe you may need to pull back and not talk so much, right? Pay attention to what needs to be revised, okay, as well as what needs to be released, right? So you can step over into the portion that needs to be renewed. Right now, when you renew something, that means that you're redoing it, like it started anew, right? So when you're starting something anew, you should not be taking in old thoughts, old mentality, old feelings, old insecurities into your newness. Okay, remember this energy, you want to shift your perception and how you're viewing the thing. Okay, now you also want to be mindful of the rebirth that's happening for a lot of people on a spiritual level. All right. Within this energy, within this new moon, you also want to trust your intuition. For some of you, if you have things within your home tonight and you feel like you need to burn a candle and say a prayer, whatever you feel like you need to do instinctively for yourself, please be mindful to do so. Okay. For those of you on your spiritual walk and your spiritual path. All right. Be mindful for the anxious energy that is going to be operating this week. Okay. You want to be mindful for that. There's some anxious energy. There's also a lot of projective energy in the atmosphere along with the anxious energy. So you can find even going into the supermarket or going into the gas station, you can find people within that anxious energy just having encounters and projecting a lot. So you can find a lot of fights, and you can also find a lot of transitions because of people, I want to say, spinning within the energy and things escalating. Okay, so be mindful of that. All right. Try not to get into arguments within this energy, right? Because you do, you can find people topping over and things can escalate within this energy. Okay. So if you feel yourself bubbling before you explode, you may want to pull back, okay, before exploding, because things can be taken to a level that you may not have wanted it to go because of the anxious energy in the atmosphere. Okay. Now you also want to pay attention to the anxious energy in the atmosphere, because that can also be an indicator to what you're supposed to be releasing, revising, or renewing within this energy. So each person is going to have to be mindful to their own individual circumstances of how they're moving throughout this energy. Okay. Now, I do want to say, I don't know if you guys were able to see the aurora lights yesterday. I think it was yesterday. If not yesterday, Saturday. I can't remember. Days are starting to kind of merge together with me. Kelly Cal sent me a video, not a video, a picture earlier. Somebody took a picture in Brooklyn of the beautiful lights. I could not see them here in Georgia. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm right next to a crystal pyramid, a mountain, it's really, I think it's a pyramid, but it's a mountain in the shape of like, got a little dome to it, and it's a quartz mountain. And we were not able to see the auroras here on my end in Atlanta, which would have been awesome because it would have been hovering over that giant quartz crystal and that mountaintop, yeah, so it did not, it was, the picture that she sent me was beautiful. So you guys can see the energy is here, it's in the field, right? I want to say watch the crazies, because the crazies are out. And when I say maybe I shouldn't call them crazies, watch the fuck fight energy. It's more what I'm picking up. Okay, so you want to watch the fuck fight energy. And when I say fuck fight energy, this is people that wants to start an argument just to kind of get their release off, right? So it's not really about resolving anything, but it's more about the adrenaline or just the venting process that they get from dumping all of their emotional baggage and trauma on you. Okay, so you want to watch that. Try not to be baited into arguments, okay, within this energy for the week. Okay, you want to really try not to be baited. Really focus this week on being able to see where you can live. Okay, let's see. Like you want to be able to see if you can reflect. I can't even, can y'all see this? You want to be able to see if you can reflect from evil, how you can live. So instead of seeing evil this week, you really want to be mindful to change your perception and see where you can live. Okay. See, okay. Yeah, Jay, I really wish I had an opportunity to see them. And I'm always watching the sky. So just so you guys know, when you see the pictures on the daily vibration, those are my pictures, pounds to my photography skills, by the way, right? So those are my actual pictures that I take. So I am constantly looking at the sky. And as a matter of fact, I put out on Instagram, I think it was yesterday or definitely over the weekend, I put out the picture of the sun. I was out looking at the sun. It was about 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. This could have been right around the time that the same day of the auroras. And I put out the video where I was looking at the sun. You can see the rays of the sun or the light from the sun coming from different angles, but you can actually see that there was no light beaming from the sun. It's like the light was approaching where the sun was going to be. All right. Oh, see? Jay says she saw a shooting star. Y'all should check that video out on my Instagram page. It's not a long video. I think it's only 41 seconds, but you literally see the sun is there and the sun is supposed to be beaming, but there's no light coming from the sun. The light is literally traveling in a cloud that is actually engulfing the sun. Like it's crazy. Okay. It's really crazy. So interesting times, interesting energy. Interesting times and interesting energy. Okay, now if you missed because I know a few of you were not able to make it to Trusting Your Intuition class on Saturday, you will get your video. Okay, so before the night is over, you will receive the email link to the class. Okay, so you'll be fine. Now, anybody got any questions? Anybody feeling any of this anxious energy? Okay. Galaxy Goddess says she didn't even know that it was an eclipse today. Oh yeah. Yep. It is an eclipse today, and you can feel it. Like, you can feel eclipse energy kind of brewing. Eclipse energy kind of intensifies things, right? And I felt it coming in from since Friday, right? Now, this is what I will say. Um, I didn't get caught up in the spin on Friday. What I did was take authority of the energy. I didn't get caught up in the spin, and I didn't even take it personally because I understood what's going on. So I didn't even take it personally. But what I did notice is that I moved differently. This is what I noticed on Friday. I moved differently, right? Even yep. I move differently. Okay, so Lori's saying she's been struggling with the anxiety. Okay. Okay, so Lori, one of the things that you can do to help with the anxiety is make sure that you find your wholeness. Now, when I say find your wholeness, you want to ask yourself within the anxiety, what's your truth? Okay. And simply ask yourself, what's my truth? So when you feel the anxiety pops up about whatever it is, right, you simply ask yourself, what's my truth? And your spirit will speak your truth, right? So if your truth is I am safe, your spirit will say I am safe. And that's what you grab onto, all right? So you can always tap into your wholeness or that divine place within you that's going to let you know everything is okay. You can find that by asking a simple question, what's my truth? Okay. All right. And let me just let y'all know your spirit is never going to say to you, you know, you're evil, you ain't shit, you know, like your higher self don't speak to you like that. So if you're hearing any messages like that, those are self-projection, either coming from part of yourself that you have not embraced yet, aka your shadow side, or those are projections from other people that you are tapping into. Okay. Or it could just be yeah, other I'm not even gonna get into that. Okay, you're welcome, Lori. Yeah, pay attention to the anxiety, y'all. This is important. Okay, you want to pay attention to the anxiety because the anxiety could lead you to move in the perception or the perspective of the old energy that you should be releasing. Okay, you also want to be mindful about the people that are always worriers or and that are anxious people that you know you have to interact with. You might want to limit your interaction with people that are overly anxious, okay, about everything. All right, definitely be mindful of the news. Be mindful of anything that hyper is okay. If you are an empath right now, you should be super sensitive about what you're intaking into your spiritual being right now. And this is a public service announcement to my empaths. As an empath right now, you should really be paying attention to what you're putting into your inner man at this point. It really shouldn't be anything that is not exalting you, or you shouldn't be doing anything where you're not trying to gain knowledge and information. There really should be no mindless watching of TV, no mindless listening to music, no mindless watching to anything on YouTube. Everything should really be done with a purpose of releasing, revising, or renewing right now. This is not the time to waste your energy, okay? All right. Jay Simone says, very high anxiety for me too, trying to learn to navigate it and journal it. Okay. I talk to myself in my head and move. Okay. Yeah. So Jay, let me tell you, with you, Jay, once again, what's my truth? Right. Now, and also what I'm hearing for you, Jay, is you need to start asking yourself, is this my shit? Because you're super sensitive. Some of this stuff that you're picking up, Jay, is not your own energy. It's other people's energy that you're tapping into. Okay. So be mindful of that. All right. And this is even sensitive shit is watching the news or speaking to a friend, Jay. All right. So you want to be mindful of that. All right. Be mindful of your conversations and even because you're super sensitive, you could just think of somebody and tap into their field. So you want to be mindful to constantly protect yourself. Definitely make sure that you have something playing constantly in the background that keeps you tapped into like a higher vibration. Yep. Okay. Oh, Jay Simone said, oh, I realized that too. This is my confirmation. Yeah. So protect yourself. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Beautiful Benson. That's what I'm going to call you because I don't want to mess your first name up. Beautiful Benson. I found myself for a second guessing every decision lately. Okay. So, now this is what I'm going to tell you, beautiful Benson, right? If you are in a position where you find yourself doubting a decision and you are not sure what to do, that is an indication that you probably should do nothing. Okay. All right. Bree is fine. Oh, I like Bree. Okay. All right, Bree. Okay. So Bree, what this, when you are in a crossroad and you don't know what to do, you do nothing until you know what to do, because you don't want to move in anxiety, you don't want to move in fear. Okay, there's a difference between knowing what to do, right, and then not moving because you're afraid, right? But if you feel like you want to do this, and then you bounce over here and you do want to do this, and that is not, that's chaotic, that's not clarity. So that is the time where you get still, get silent, and you do nothing. Okay, you do nothing until you are clearly comfortable from an internal place of what you should do. Now, if there's something, Bree, that is time, like it's time, how do you say, time, like time, shit, like when you have a time frame, okay, like if something that is time frame or time worthy, okay, like if you have to make something and it's in a time constraint, right, what you definitely want to do is ask yourself, okay, what should I do? Once you know what to do and you feel anxious about it, you just want to ask yourself the question, am I not taking action because I'm afraid? And let me just tell you guys this. I'm going to give you guys a tip that I've been teaching in my class. Okay. Right. I got to be honest with you. A lot of times when you ask yourself a question spiritually, you get the answer, but you just don't trust the answer. And the answer is usually the first answer that pops up. Okay. So you want to always grab the first answer. So you ask yourself, am I not moving because I'm afraid? Okay. And then depending on the answer, that will give you the indication if you need to move in that field, if you need not to move because it's just not, you just don't know what to do. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, there's a difference between not moving because you don't know what to do and not moving because you're afraid. Okay. So this is not the time to not move because you're afraid, right? But it's okay to not do anything if you don't know what to do and you're not in a time, a time constraint. Okay. Hey, Donna, how are you, my love? Donna Nicole here is here. Welcome. Okay. So just be mindful of that. Donna, how has this energy been treating you? Do you feel, we've been talking about the new moon energy that can come in with a little anxious energy. I miss you too. Yeah, I tapped in. Yeah, it was anxious energy on Friday. So I had to do some self-love on Friday. So be mindful of the energy, Donna. It could be a little anxious energy in the atmosphere this week. You want to be mindful of the hazels, the gargamels, and the energy vampire. Oh, okay. So, Chris, actually, if I'm not mistaken, we did have mood swing energy in the atmosphere, for today. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Chris, Chris, mood swing is in the atmosphere today. That was in the vibration for today. Yep. Donna said her nerves were shot today. Yeah. Donna, this is the time. Play back the first maybe 15 to 20 minutes of the video when you get a chance. I go through what you can expect within this eclipse energy and what you should be mindful of. Okay. Yeah. And just so you know, Donna, it is going to feel like that for the rest of the week. You definitely may feel some anxious energy for the rest of the week. It's going to kind of settle out next week. So what you need to be mindful of, once again, right? Be mindful of the R's, right? The 3 R's, right? So releasing energy. Okay. Revising things because new perspective, right? So you may need to revise some things, as well as renewal, right? So there are endings and beginnings, which means doors are going to be closing, but as soon as a door closes, another door opens. But if you're not paying attention, you can miss things. Okay, that is going to be important. All right, that's going to be very important, right? Now, as far as the anxious energy is concerned, you may have to ground yourself a little bit more than normal this week. Okay. So if you're meditating, you don't want to miss any of your meditation this week, right? If you find that you, I want to say nursing someone's wounds, nursing someone's anxious energy through a conversation or whatever the case may be, you may want to kind of reschedule this week. All right. Be mindful that the new moon energy still can shadow for the next couple of days. All right. So it's happening tonight. So you can see that shadow happening up until Thursday. All right. Within this energy. So protect your energy because you're going to feel a lot of anxiousness at least up until Thursday or towards the end of the week. Okay. Coming into Monday. All right. We're shifting into Capricorn Capricorn seasons next week. So it's going to call you to step up and take responsibility for a lot of things as we jump over into that energy, right? Capricorn season is about order, structure, and foundation, right? So revise, revise. So once we get over there, it's going to be creating that foundation for the revision. Okay, that's going to be important. Now, this energy is also operating a lot on the home front. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that. You guys can find a lot of things happening on unfolding within the home front or within relationships within the home aspect of your life. Okay, so this week you're gonna have to see evil for being able to live and rise above some things, okay, honey? Or you're gonna have to live past some evil that you see. Either which way, you won't have to change your perspective on some things this week as we are moving throughout this energy, okay? Am I missing anything? I think I don't remember for sure, but I think I go into maybe not a lot. Maybe not a lot, but I already recorded the daily vibration for tomorrow, right? Because I pre-record them the day prior. And I know I touched a little bit on the eclipse energy, but I also touched a little bit on the energy that's coming in right now. Is you're going to have to like save yourself. This is definitely your own salvation time. Okay, so be mindful of that. You are not in a position right now. If you're looking outside of yourself to get things done, to get things completed, you're going to be lost. All right. Know that we are stepping into a new day. Literally, we're stepping into a new day. Okay. Yep. Okay. Donna Nicole says she's being ready. Oh, hey, Cam. How are you? Yeah, definitely do the replay. Okay, I break down the energy as we are shifting throughout the week. Definitely do the replay. If you do not, can I tell you guys, I brought back the numerology portion of the daily vibration, right? So I'm doing it in two ways now. I'm giving you the vibration of the actual date, okay? So like December 15th, 2020, and the actual day, which would be Tuesday. So you're getting two different vibrations, right? I may sometimes include the energy of the moon, just depending on, you know, where I am and what's going on. You may also get some energy of the moon. But what I will like to tell you guys is you really want to just be mindful as we're going through the balance of, I want to say, not the calendar year, but the astrological year, right? So we got Capricorn, I think Aquarius, and then we have Pisces, right? So we got 3 more transits to go through. By the time that we get to the end of the wheel, which is going to be Pisces season, and we start again with Aries season, that is a lot of major transformation. I already explained to you guys that you're going to find the energy in the atmosphere is being cranked, okay? Be mindful right about now to protect not just your energy from an emotional level, but you also want to protect your mental energy, okay? There's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, in tomorrow's energy, I want to say this, guys. Be mindful because we're in eclipse energy. Eclipse energy can bring in a lot of transition, right? So be mindful of this. I want you guys to be very careful tomorrow as you're going through this energy, because tomorrow's energy is bringing in a lot of major painful change for some people. Some people on a physical level, for some people it can be an emotional level, a financial level, a material level, okay? Now this change may be needed for some people because, you know, especially if you needed to bring in, or you've asked for change, but you're having a problem doing or implementing the change that is required, you can find within this week and within this eclipse energy, you can find major changes starting to happen, right? And this is just to shake things up so you can get the adjustments that's needed, okay? So be mindful of that, all right? Hey, Ashanti, my love, how are you? You guys got any questions for me? I just wanted to come on because I know I told you guys that I was going to come on and I did not get a chance to jump on for Paid Forward Friday. And I wanted to touch on this new moon energy because this is an important transit, y'all. Okay? Important transit. I have a girlfriend that went through I want to say, a painful, you know, and maybe even embarrassing moment yesterday. Okay. And I gotta say something to you guys. It's not something, because we talked about this energy. We literally spent 3 hours on the phone talking about this energy. We literally spent 3 hours on the phone talking about the do's, the don'ts, right? Do's, the don'ts. And then something just popped off, and then she just got engulfed by her emotions, you know. And I remember her saying at one point, when I was telling her, no, we talked about this, you wasn't, you know, she said, well, I'm not there yet, you know, I'm not there yet, you know, which leads me to let you guys know that you really are going to have to man your feelings. You really are going to have to man your feelings, right? Because that explosion, right, could have gotten a lot worse than it did. It could have. Like, it worked out okay. It got pretty intense in her situation, you know. Got pretty intense, pretty, I want to say, dysfunctional and toxic. Nobody was hurt, but it could have escalated to the point where somebody did get hurt, right? So just be mindful of that, okay? Hey, Lori L, because you are worth it. I love that, okay? Is that my L'Oreal? Because I don't know. Is that my L'Oreal? Because if that's my L'Oreal, we need to hang. Okay. Hey, Kimoy, caught the ending, but I will pray. I'm feeling the emotions. Okay. Uh, of this out of nowhere. Yeah. And you're already super sensitive if this is my L'Oreal. You're already super sensitive. So you definitely want to protect your energy, okay, from the energy vampires. Okay. Hey, Tanya, how are you? Tanya, you are a Scorpio. So even if you don't watch the whole thing, maybe watch a playback of the last 15 minutes, because I break down this eclipse energy, which is going to last for about at least a couple of weeks or 6 months. Okay. It's bringing in major change. Okay. Oh, it is my L'Oreal. Okay. So reach out to me, sweetie. Okay. Yeah, you can reach out to me. Maybe we could grab lunch or something. Let's see. Donna Nicole said that part, energy vampires. Let's talk about the energy vampires right now. With the energy vampires, you're going to see an increase. I'm sensitive myself, but I keep it to myself, I think. Okay, yeah. Now, Bree, let me just tell you, Bree, most people that find my channel and that join the community are empaths, right? Because usually you can't find me if you are not an empath. I don't really do well with people that are not in, and when I say I don't usually do well, meaning that people that come and stick around and want to learn and really want to elevate themselves are usually empaths, right? So yeah, you are definitely, if you're here and you're in the chat, I'm pretty sure you're an empath. Okay, yep. Let's link up and then we can break down that. I can, yeah, and then we'll run through it. Okay, yeah. Call me tomorrow. You know, you gotta call me, L'Oreal. Don't text me. You may not get a response. You know how I do in the text messages. So please, anybody that knows me know texting me is probably not the best way to go about reaching me, right? Yep, here you go. So Chris got it. Hyoka empaths. Yes, okay. That is usually the type of empaths that I attract, Bree. You might want to look up Hyoka empaths. Chris just put it in there, Bree. You might find that you have a lot of the markers of a Hyoka empath, okay? Because that's usually, I attract a lot of Hyoka empaths. All right. Am I missing anything? If you are part of the Patreon family, I want you guys to know that I am going to be doing the live karma readings, okay, on the 23rd of this month on Patreon, okay? So if you're part of the Patreon family, you can hop on over on the 23rd. I am going to be doing the live karma readings there. If you show up, I'm gonna, you know, might be able to tap into your personal energy. So if you're part of the Patreon family, that's happening on the 23rd, okay? So you just gonna have to set your notification. All right. I'm probably going to post exactly what time. It's going to be after 2 p.m.-ish though. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Okay, L'Oreal. So, and if you're a part of the Patreon family, the ancestor reading is up. All of the monthlies are up. Okay. Extended monthlies are up. I also posted 2 additional videos. Definitely sacred geometry applied. The square is up. And I posted another video. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, there are a few new things up on Patreon. Instagram, my loves. I go live on Instagram on Tuesdays with Nye. And I go live on Instagram on Thursdays with Kelly Cows. Okay. And you can find me on Instagram at the number 4, Your Inner Voice. So you want to make sure that you join us on Instagram. Okay. My podcast, you can find me on any pretty much major streaming podcast app for Your Inner Voice. Also, right, so you're gonna find content on the podcast that you don't find on any other of the platforms also. All right, there's a series on there called 0 Point Reset, and there's going to be a new series starting also in January. Right, so stuff you won't be able to find on any of the other platforms. You just want to have access to all my platforms. You're going to be finding different stuff, you know, on different platforms. All right, does anybody have any questions for me? Because if y'all don't have any questions for me, this is new moon energy. Okay, I have some stuff that I would like to channel within this energy, so I am going to go do my own thing if y'all don't have no questions for me. And then I'm going to make sure that we circle back on Friday. Right, we're going to circle back on Friday, because on Friday we're going to close off Friday with exactly the predictions for the coming up of the top of the year, as well as maybe going over some of the dates coming into the new year. Okay. Be mindful. I told you guys that they're going to crank it. So you want to be mindful also. I don't know if I'm going to get in to some of those predictions as far as what's about to go down with vaccines and stuff, right? I kind of feel like if you're tapped in already, you know the do's and the don'ts, so you can kind of move from there, right? But we'll get into some major transits, as well as some dates that are coming through, and whatever predictions also that are coming through. We'll do that for this Friday coming up, right? Is this Friday coming? Is this the Friday before Christmas? Let me see. I don't know if this is the Friday before Christmas. How does this work? No, it is not the Friday before Christmas. Yes, shit, it is the Friday before Christmas, y'all. Oh shit. We pretty much done, right? Because after the Friday, Christmas lands on the Friday, then that's it. It ain't no more, right? So yeah, we're gonna do next week the predictions coming into next year, and we're also gonna talk about the winter solstice energy and what's gonna happen there. Okay, just be mindful. All right, a lot of chaotic energies in the atmosphere, but you can definitely manifest an energy of chaos. Okay, yes, Jasmine, I do. Okay, and I'm sorry, I just got Jasmine. I've been working my list, Jasmine. You see what time it is, and I'm just okay. This is literally, I got one more thing on the list to do, Jasmine. So I apologize, but I am going to call you because I do want to work with you on something. Okay. No, it's gonna come back. I know what it is, Jasmine. I just haven't gotten a chance to call you. All right. Okay. Light within darkness. How can I manifest in this energy? Find your center and then get to a place of wholeness. So light within darkness. Go back and watch my my series on manifesting within dark matter. Right? Everything is energy. So how you're manifesting right now is definitely how you're feeling. So if you're feeling anxious and you're feeling fearful and you're putting more energy and you're putting more words and creating more energy towards something that you do not want to experience, hey, Lancy, right? That is what's going to manifest. You're literally manifesting based on what you put your attention to right now, like within darkness. So you need to find your center, right? Find your center. Find your center and come back to a place of wholeness. You are not disconnected from anything. You're connected to everything. Anything that is trying to come up against you is working for you in your favor. So no matter how the table turns, you are good. And you're going to have to get in that place and rest there, right? And from that place, you can see the universe and you can see people, things, and situation bending, right, to fit your experience. Real talk. Real talk. I'm telling y'all, this just happened on Friday. Now, it was enough for me to sit my ass down and get back to a place of gratitude because, I mean, universe kicked in. But part of that universe kicking in was me being able to stick within my center and find a place of wholeness. Nah, we've been talking about this for over a year, like within darkness. You are that power. You're going to have to speak to some things, whether that's your feelings, whether that's the ethers, whether that's your guides, whether that's a situation, whether that's your money. You're going to have to speak. Everything is energy. You are going to literally have to own your power in this season. That's it. Know your truth. So all of this shit that we be reading, the secrets, all of this shit that all of these books that we read, like literally. Okay, so Light Within Darkness, I'm going to recommend this to you. Find this book. This is how you manifest in this season. Okay, this is how you're manifesting within this season, and then you're going to take this and infuse it with your feelings. Go back to basics. Go back to basics. Okay. This is how you're manifesting in this season, Light Within Darkness. Right? And you're not just reading these things, you're applying them. This is not about reading. This is about literally applying these things. You got that power, but you got to believe. Can I just tell you something right now? Right now in this energy, how you're manifesting and how you're going to get the things is going to be based on your belief system. Right? So if you half-assing it with your belief system, you're going to get a half-ass manifestation. All right? So even if you got to tell yourself 1,000 times a day, it is done, it is written, it is mine, it is mine, and that's what it got to be. Do you know how much times you tell yourself on a daily basis, I can't, I won't, I didn't, you know how much times you tell yourself on a daily basis, talk yourself out of your own shit, right? Yeah, there you go. Journaling can help. Let me show you something. All of my daily vibrations, right? Well, this is a daily vibration, right? I write my daily vibrations down every day, right? But on top of my daily vibration is my to-do list. But on top of my to-do list is my affirmation. Every day I write out an affirmation that I am asking the universe to manifest, right? So it's not even asking the universe, that I am thanking the universe that it has already manifest. So every day that I write out my to-do list, there's a particular affirmation that I write on that's the first thing that gets done on my to-do list is this affirmation. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. I don't give a fuck what I'm seeing in front of me. What I do know is this is done, right? And whether I got to write this out for 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, 6 hours, if I'm creating a list every hour, this is what it is, right? Yeah, chanting also helps. That's going to bring you into your center, right? That's going to bring you into the post of where everything dwells, right? Hey, Everett, Toronto is in the house. Everything leading to now was practice. Yep. Get ready for the real test this week. Yep. Saturn. Come on now. Come on now. Everett, we just talked about that. I was just talking about that, Everett. I just talked about that. Coming out of Sagittarius season, going into Capricorn season. Yeah. What have you been doing? Capricorn is going to say, what the fuck have you been doing? But what have you been doing? Last time I was here, you said you was going to do this. Last time I was here, when you got in this jam, I gave you an opportunity. Show me what you've been doing. What you've been doing. What you've been doing. You are going to be judged based on, how you've been moving, right? That integrity shit. Have you been moving with integrity? That shit that you said you wasn't going to do after you got out of that jam, how have you been moving, right? Now, let me just tell you something about the karmic settlement. Let's just even talk about the karma. Karma is cause and effect, right? That's what karma is. Cause and effect, right? The effect of this, right, is because you caused this. You did this. This is what I talked about. Knowing how to not allow your emotions to control you. Being the controller of your emotions so you can be able to govern where you're putting your attention, right? Because your emotions are the cause. The effect is how you govern and where you place your emotions, right? Yep. Shadow work is what's up, Kim. Your shadow side is where the power is. Okay. Your shadow side is where the power is. Lens is called, thank you. Okay. Yes. It is. Becoming an Alchemist, a guide for the modern magician. This is, I'm going to hold it up again, Lancy, so you can take a screenshot. Okay. This is the screenshot. All right. Okay. Now, it's going to be important for you guys to be able to challenge yourself, push past your emotions, push past your feelings. Okay, there we go. Yep. Oh my gosh. Everett, can I just tell you something? This week, if you think you've been triggered, remember, okay? Let me just say this. I want to tell you guys this, okay? Tomorrow is Tuesday. Tuesdays are ruled by Mars. Mars is the god of war, or the energy signature pattern of war and protection. How are you going to utilize that energy tomorrow? Okay. Are you going to be operating on some war mode type shit? Or are you going to be utilizing and directing that energy toward protection? Right. Be mindful. Okay. Principalities in places that you wrestle not with flesh and blood. Right. So we're talking about energetic patterns here. So you can find a lot of people spinning in this energy tomorrow, and I told you guys about that fuck fight energy, okay? Especially mixed with the anxious energy in the atmosphere. It can be very explosive tomorrow, okay? So be mindful of that energy tomorrow, okay? So if you're not checking out the daily vibrations, you want to be mindful. Tomorrow it can be very explosive energy. You can find people pushing your buttons, trying to start fights. Very opinionated energy in the atmosphere tomorrow, because people may not want to deal with their shit. Okay, so be mindful. All right. Toronto knows everything. Said, Lord, I've been getting it from every direction. Love, family, finances. It will not. You can't be moved. You're right. But the world is about to get in. Oh my gosh. Can I just tell you something? You are absolutely right. Wait until we talk about this stuff on Friday. Yeah, yeah. So even, can I just tell y'all some of the things that's been coming through in the spiritual realm? I just kind of feel like I don't even want to document and put out here. Like very, only a selected few people behind the scene has been getting what's been coming through lately, because shit is about to change, y'all, in a beautiful way, depending on how you look at it, right? This is why this is not a season to run from your fears and run from the things that you are afraid of. This is really an opportunity for you to begin to start anew and to push past your fears. It's an even playing field for everybody if you take that opportunity to do so, right? I'm talking about an even playing field emotionally, financially, mentally, physically, right? There's so much available to us now that may not have even been available 10 years ago, as far as information, knowledge, and technology is concerned, right? And I'm not talking about the aspect of the powers that may be trying to use it for control. I'm talking about the power within you that is trying to get you to see your own innate power that dwells. That's it. So if you can wake up to that side of you, you can wake up to the aspects of you where you can take control and change things. Okay. Like really physically change things, interact with the energy, and really change things in your life. Right. Okay. So Everett is saying, and the Reaper is not even, honey, hunty, no, I don't think the Reaper has been gone. Like I haven't seen that energy shifted from since earlier in the year. Maybe a little bit low key, but the energy's still been in the atmosphere. Yep. Okay, 444K and ancestors, but balance will call for all the equivalent descendants of 4 and more people. Oh, let me tell you. And can I just tell you this, right? If this change and this wave that's coming in is about unity. It's not about separation of classes or race. It's about unity. So if you're not on the vibration of unity and oneness right about now, you may not be on the pulse, right? It's about unity. Right? However that plays out in your experience, it plays out. But there should be a vibration where there is unity, oneness coming in from all levels, all directions, understanding that you are connected to all things and everything, and you're not separated from anything. Now, a lot of people may not be able to grab that because we are taught differently. We are taught separation, right? So if you practice in separation right now, that's not the move. I'm just saying, okay? All right, my lovelies. I appreciate this. It is now almost 9 o'clock. I need to go ahead and take care of my new moon stuff that I got to do. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to be back on Friday. We're going to be talking about how we wrapping this year up with the energy. Once again, we're going to go through some dates. We're going to talk about some of these planetary alignments. Maybe even get into a little bit more about this eclipse energy and what we can look forward with this transit coming up into Saturn, into Capricorn. Okay. Have a great night, everyone. Bye, Lori. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to see you guys live tomorrow on Instagram with Nye. Okay. And I'll be back here on YouTube on Friday with Pay It Forward Fridays. Okay. Bye, my loves. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Do the playback if you want to get the breakdown of this new moon energy. Bye, guys.